much of a worry for parents as it is for kids. I know. Well, Dr. Dina Kulik joins us now to give advice on tackling some of the most common back-to-school concerns, from anxiety to germs. And I know I was telling you earlier, I've got a 5-year-old who's going into grade 1, but when we started school, there was that major separation anxiety. I mean, it took me, a while. So what can you tell parents in terms of, especially, those kids that are either starting school for the first time, but also starting a new grade?
For sure, for sure. So it's all about prep this week. Talking about it often, relaying any of their fears, discussing what they're scared about, what are they anxious about, but also really talking up the amazing things. So they're going to see all their new friends, they're going to see a new teacher, they're going to go on field trips and out for recess and have an amazing packed lunch and all the amazing, exciting things about school. You want to be playing up on those and making this week as much like a mini school week as possible. Starting to gear back into sleeping the same times, going to bed earlier, waking up earlier, having recess outside kind of time, having a packed lunch, which is always exciting for kids to open, just kind of gearing back into the swing of things for next week, even a week before.
So even sort of starting a bit of that routine for them at home, so they kind of get into that that swing of things. Now, we know that, of course, during the school year, there's a lot of activities we kind of get our kids involved in, after school stuff, which, is a bit of a crazy juggle for parents, but how much is it for the kids, though?
Right. Well, sometimes very stressful for kids. So a lot of our kids want to do soccer and karate and ballet and all the different activities, but you want to kind of limit it a bit and see how they're doing before you take on more.
Okay.
I always recommend a few days off where there's nothing, no activities, just playing outside, going to the park, having play dates, just, chill time, so that every single day is not jam-packed with school, then after-school activities.
And should you sort of, I guess, ease that in? Because you kind of want to get them to start the school year first.
A couple things in the fall, you could switch it up. The favorite things you can continue into the winter season and spring season. Just pick your favorites and move forward that way.
Okay, perfect. Hold on, sorry, I've got a cough here. And this actually leads quite nicely to my next question. Germs.
Yes.
This sort of, I think the focus really here is for the younger kids. I mean, I know when mine started JK, junior kindergarten, you get exposed to everything, especially if you perhaps don't have your child in a daycare where they kind of get exposed to other kids. So what do we need to sort of try and reduce that? Because we don't want our kids coming home sick, but then when they spread it to the family, and I know from experience, and I know a lot of parents do, you get 10 times sicker than your kids do, but you still have to juggle everything.
Yes.
So
and
what
you
do
have
we
to take time off of work as well. So it's a pain for everybody.
Exactly. You don't want to spread it to work either. So.
Right, that's it. So taking time off. So when your kid is sick, when you're sick, not going into school, not going into work, so that you prevent everyone else from getting sick as well. And teaching your kids really good hand hygiene. That's a big one. So when you were coughing, you were covering yourself. That's perfect. Make sure you wash your hands often. You can give your kids a little hand sanitizer for school, for their knapsack, for example, so they always have an ability to keep their hands clean. And avoiding sharing things. So teaching your kids not to be sharing cups and cutlery and all these things with their friends, which they often do. And that way, hopefully, we prevent some of the spreading germs this fall.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll keep fingers crossed. I mean, some great tips. But yeah, we'll see. I've got my 3-year-old's going to be starting school next year, so I'll probably be coming back to you to say, all right, how do we get him geared up for the first day?
School, lots of talking about it, calm their fears.
Yeah, and some of the schools actually have sort of drop-in programs that you can do, which kind of makes them familiar. So. All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Okay.